Hi guys, and welcome to my new diamond painting channel. My name is Bree. I'm going to give you a little bit of background. I used to have another channel. It was called Bree's Diamond Haven, and I did get rid of it because I have seen some things. I'm not really sure necessarily because I'm still new to YouTube kind of. I've only been doing it a couple of years and it's been really hard to stick with, so I haven't yet reached monetization levels, so I'm not really sure. I'm still kind of going by what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, and some of that is that what I just actually kind of discovered. Supposedly you can have like multiple channels, but they all have to be under the same email address. So I didn't know that, and I had started some channels under I thought each one should have its own email, and apparently YouTube doesn't like that. So thankfully, the main ones that I was working on, my gaming channel and my coloring channel, have all been actually created under one email address. And unfortunately, though, my diamond painting channel was not. And since the goal was to eventually be monetized, I decided that it just made more sense to eliminate that channel and start a new one. Oddly enough, there was something slightly therapeutic about that. I'm not really sure why. I was like thinking I was going to be really upset because, the videos I had done, now they were going to be gone. They were useless basically because I can't re-upload those videos. But I didn't have that many, and I didn't have a lot of subscribers. I only had about 30 subscribers, so not much, and very little interaction, very little views. And so it really wasn't that hard to let go of it in a way, but then I also haven't really had the time to focus on it, so it was actually kind of easy to let it go in a way. But the reason I decided that I needed to start up another channel is because I had put out so much money into diamond paintings over the not even a year. I don't even know how long it was. I think it was maybe March of 2025 or so that I had gotten into diamond painting really. And I started the YouTube channel because I thought it would be kind of fun to share my journey and things like that and be part of the community. And it turned out to be just way more than I thought. And we're going to talk about it. So I felt like I just needed to at least commit to this. I don't know what direction my life is going to go. I'm trying to figure out how to make money from home because I have some health issues and things that are kind of preventing me from going back to work. Some of it is mental, like I just mentally can't get there. I have a lot of anxiety, a lot of, depression, mental health issues, but I also have some physical things that are going on. It's just not in the cards for me at the moment. Not to say it'll never happen, but it's just for now. So I'm like, what can I do from home that's going to make me money? And so my boyfriend and I are kind of working on some things, to see if we can start up a business, or, we're looking at our options, you know what I mean? So that's happening behind the scenes. In the meantime, I thought, my coloring channel has been fun to work on, and I do that once or twice a week. I'll try to upload when my daughter is home from school. I definitely take breaks. I can't do as much when she's home, so I do that as I can. That's kind of more for fun. But the diamond painting, I just feel like we're going to talk about it, like I said, but I got so many paintings that at this point, I just feel like if I have to walk away from the diamond painting for a while, I can have an easier time doing that if I at least get through the paintings that I have, and then I can say, okay, I at least worked on the things that I purchased, and now I can peacefully put this on pause and step aside. But if it, continued to grow and everything like that, then I would, keep going and continue this journey. But I just don't know what that looks like yet. So for now, this is kind of what we're doing. This is where we're at. So I want to talk a little bit about my experience in diamond painting. I know a lot of people have a lot of fun with it, and I really wanted to try it out because I do, like I said, have my own anxiety and depression and things like that. People seem to really enjoy this hobby to help with that. So I wanted to try it. So I wrote down some notes and stuff, and it's very, the reason I named the channel The Chaos Situation is because I feel like my brain is very chaotic all the time. I mean, I hate it. I try to reel it in and it just doesn't work. But I have a lot of things here, no particular order. It's kind of things that I wish I knew before I started diamond painting, because I didn't look too much into it. I kind of just saw a couple videos, thought it looked fun. I really didn't know what diamond painting was. I just thought, how do you paint with diamonds? That sounds crazy and expensive. But then I obviously learned what it is, and just thank God it's not actual diamonds, because I could never have afforded that. I kind of just jumped right into where's the best place to buy diamond paintings from? What do I need to actually do this? And that was kind of it. I wish I had done more research. It's been a while since I've looked at this list, because I was going to make a couple videos back in like November of last year, and it just never happened. I basically completely fell off from the channel. I just could not focus on it. It was really just too much work, and I was very stressed out. I can't, I don't even, I kind of put all that behind me in a way. So let's see what I wrote down here, because it's been a while since I've looked at this list. So the first thing I have here for things I wish I knew before I began is how tedious and time consuming it is. And I stand by that for sure. I didn't realize, like, if you have like the diamond, I don't know the measurements, but if you get like diamond art clubs paintings, one section of a painting, like a regular average size painting, will take me like an hour and a half to do. And to me, for me in my life, it's just too much time. By the time I set everything up, especially if I'm going to record it for a video, by the time I get everything set up and I'm ready to record and things like that, because I don't have a room to just leave everything all set up, I have to put my desk table up. Like, it's not really a desk, it's like a folding table kind of thing. I set that up, put my camera stand, get everything lined up, get the art out and everything. I don't have like a fancy setup, it's just basic, but it's like by the time I get everything set up, y'all, it is time consuming. And then to do the actual work, yeah, it takes me a long time. I'm a slow painter, and sometimes it's easier for me to go one by one rather than multi-placing. So that's a thing too. So it definitely took me a long time, and sometimes it's just like, I don't want to take 6 hours to work on a small situation. I don't know. I didn't like that. I didn't like that part, how it took so long. I don't actually find it that relaxing all the time, because it's like I really just want to finish. But it kind of just depends on my mood and the painting, and am I doing this for what purpose? For YouTube, it's definitely more stressful. For regular life, I guess it's not as bad. But when I have to like constantly, you know, put things away all the time, I'm definitely like, I wish I had a situation that I could just leave it out and come back to it, because having to wrap everything up all the time and put things away, it's definitely, I don't know, it's like an extra added step that is just, I wish I didn't have to do it. Okay, what's next? All right, next I have here, accessories are fun, but not necessary to have so many, like 100 of each. So I notice a lot of people have a lot of accessories. Now I feel like a lot of people, while I know a lot of people do buy their things, I also know that there's a lot of creators that are gifted items, because it gets, you know, more eyes on the products. So they're given things, right? So that's lovely for those people. But I think it's hard when you're coming into something new. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, those things are so cool. I want those too. They're so pretty. But you don't need them. So if anybody's new, listen, especially like, you do you. And if you can do that, listen, I love that for you. But if you're in a situation like me where you know better and you know you should not be spending the money, please try to hold back. Because let me tell you something, it is so easy to get wrapped up in these things. Fortunately, I think I only succumbed myself to 2 diamond painting pens from an Etsy shop, Peachy Keen, and one of them, when I was wiggling the diamond painting tip into the pen, and I was wiggling it and I did it a little too hard, and a chunk of my pen broke off. I can still use it and it's fine, but it was still like, oh my God, 50 something dollars for this pen, and it just broke. But that's because I was like, you know, I had to put like washi tape to get it to be a snug fit. When you're wiggling it in, you have to be careful, and I did not actually know that. So they are more delicate maybe than you might think. It's just something I had to learn how to be careful of. And so that was disappointing, but also my bad. Also, the Diamond Art Club tips, I learned you have to be careful because they are bendable. Interestingly, the steel ones I didn't know, and as I was trying to work the putty in to the tip, one of my multi-placers ended up bending, so it wasn't flat anymore, so it didn't work and I had to throw it out. They wouldn't replace it. It was no good anymore. So that was, I don't know, a good $12 down the drain, I guess. Yeah, you don't need all the fancy accessories, but I think a good middle ground is buying one of, like, say the Diamond Art Club or like a different kind of pen from Amazon. Rather, it's like an upgrade from what comes with the kit, but you're not spending $50 on something, you know. But if you can, by all means, go for it, you know. But do you need 100 of them? Not really. So I think it just depends. There is such a thing with like over consumption where we just kind of get wrapped up in the cutest and the prettiest and the shiniest and the newest, and we just need everything, but we really don't. And that is something I should have learned prior to this, but this is a new thing for me, and I just wanted all the toys. And I think the worst for me was definitely the trays. The putties I have a lot of just because I wanted to try different companies, and I still have a few that I haven't tried yet. But I was really trying to find something because I watched these ASMR diamond painting videos and they made the nicest popping sounds, and it was so nice, and I really wanted to do that, but I'm in South Florida and it's very warm in my room and I just can't do it. The putty gets too soft and you can't hear anything, so that didn't work out for me. But I did want to try different putties to see if anyone else's putty would work, and it didn't. They were all the same basically. So I do have several putties, but some of them are very tiny, actually tinier than I thought, but it's okay because you do use that, you go through them. It's not something that's going to be around forever. My other thing that I thought of with these putties and these waxes, I see people say all the time like they're going to last forever. I don't have that experience. My experience is that they don't last forever. Obviously, then they say that they don't mean forever, but don't expect it to last as long as what they might say. It's very dependent on your own situation, because even glue dots is my go-to for my single placer, and I still find myself having to replace that stuff pretty often. I don't think I even make it through a whole section usually without having to replace it, or at least I'm fighting with it. I don't know. I can just feel it. Sometimes I feel it more than I can see it, but I just find that they don't last as long as they make it sound, at least for me. Yeah, with the diamond painting trays I got really into. I bought a ton of those because I thought I was going to be laying out more colors at a time than I ended up doing, but I don't know, I just never actually ended up doing that. I really intended it for like the paint gem ones, like the smaller ones, or the mini dazzles from Diamond Art Club. Yeah, I don't know, I just didn't end up doing it. And so I stopped buying them because I'm like, you know, I have plenty. They're not miracle workers either. It's like I have some that I really, really love, but every single time I put the diamonds or drills, whatever you want to call them, back into the tubes or the storage things, there's always like one left behind. I think it's the Firefly diamond trays. There's always at least one little drill left behind that gets stuck in the side. And then there's another one that's, I think it's Bijou Bliss, that they make there. I might be wrong on the company because it's been so long since I've actually tried them. I love the trays. The tray designs are great. I like that they have like the magnet lid and everything, but they do make theirs, I believe they told me that they make theirs the spacing a little bit bigger to account for, or to allow for different size drills or diamonds, and so it takes a little more work to actually get them to be straight if you want to multi-place them, which isn't the biggest deal. But I do have other trays that I don't have that problem with, and they all fit. So, you know, you just kind of have to know that you may have a little more work. Nothing is going to be perfect, and they're expensive to me. Everything's expensive to me. I think more than $10, I'm like, you know, it's pricey to me. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying they're overpriced, because I think it's a quality product, and I would definitely recommend the brands that I have. I would definitely recommend all of them. I think they're great ones to look at, great ones to buy from. The people in the business really care about what they're doing. They're very helpful and responsive, and it's worth it. They're worth every penny, but it's just knowing that nothing is perfect. The one that works the best for me has actually been the one that comes for free with Diamond Art Club ones, and then I have one that I got from Australia that is by Fantasy Spark Hills. His works also very, very well for me as far as lining up the drills the straightest, but the other ones are great too for different reasons. Some slide out better than others. Some have cuter designs, you know, or features or whatever. There is no like one size fits all, you know. It's definitely worth having a variety, but unless you're, I don't know why you would need more unless you are a person who's going to lay out multiple colors at a time. I would say for me, I don't see why I would need more than 6, but also depending what you're doing, if you travel, maybe you want different sizes. I got a couple different sizes just to kind of see what they look like in person. I got a couple accessories like from Cat Proof Trays. I got like they have like a little kitty litter box shaped thing that you put the trash drills in. I thought that was a really cute, fun accessory to have. And then I have a couple other things that I honestly probably am never going to use, but I got them because I felt like I wanted to do unboxings on the channel and stuff like that. And so I thought these were fun things to do on the channel. I might use them. I could see myself using them. But then at the same time that I got them, I started to kind of fall off and I started to not love it as much. And I just thought that figures. As soon as I get my fun accessories, I decide I don't want to do this anymore. That's of course that's me. Part of that though is because if I had a desk and I had a shelf above the desk and I could just have everything out and easily accessible, I would use everything. But because it's so hard and I have to like dig things out from where are they? I stored them over here. I gotta find them, get them out, blah, blah, blah. It's just not worth the effort. You know, it's like, no. Someday I'll have them forever. So someday I will definitely use them. But just currently in the situation I'm in, I definitely wish I had rethought that. There's a couple things I wish I had thought more about. So yeah, be considerate of your life and your situation when you're looking at the products you think you need, but you really probably don't. And how many of them do you actually need to get? Because it's always hard when there's like themes and stuff and it's like, oh, Halloween is coming, Christmas is coming, or there's like themed events and you want to get the event trays or this, that, whatever. But it's like, do you have space for it? Do you actually have money for it? Are you sure there's not something else that you're going to want instead? Just be more thoughtful than I was. That's all. Because I was not as thoughtful as I should have been. Except I will say, we're going to get to this too. When it came to like the Halloween event, the Drills and Chills event last year, I was more thoughtful because I saw one diamond paint tray that I really, really wanted. And then there were more that came out and I thought, no. I already got 2 from the same person because of this event. The one had nothing to do with the event, but I just love the design, so I bought 2. And I thought, I want other things because they go with the event, but I'm not going to get them because I'm not in love with the designs. And at that point, I was so tight with money that I said, if I'm not in love with something, I'm not going to get it. If I find even one thing that I'm like, I don't love that, in this case, it was flowers. I'm not a big floral person. I said, I'm not going to get it because there's too many flowers and I don't like flowers. And so therefore that's a reason not to spend the money on it. Plus I already have for the event, the 1 tray, and that's enough. I don't need 2. So I was able to talk myself off the ledge with that one. So that was nice. Let's see what else there is. That was a long rant about that. So, okay. So something I learned along the way, check Etsy shops and regular.com shops. Meaning there are some people who have shops on Etsy for putty or trays or whatever, but they also have regular websites that they sell the same products on. And sometimes the prices on the website are going to be better than they are on Etsy because the prices on Etsy will be higher to compensate for the extra fees that Etsy charges. I learned that from somebody who sells putty. She mentions it. She tells you, hey, just so you know, I have more stuff on my website and the prices are a little bit cheaper. And I thought, well, that's interesting. So then I looked into it and I saw there are more people doing that. Makes total sense. So definitely if you find someone that's selling something that you really like, whether it's cover minders or pens or whatever, compare if they have a website and an Etsy shop. Check both and just see what's going on there. Let's see. The next thing I have here is how expensive it is. And let's see what notes I wrote. I think you really have to have a decent knowledge of the products, like drills, canvas, glue use, etc., to understand why the cost can be so much. Not to mention considering the fact that artists need to be paid also, all the things that go into pricing. So that's a thing. And I do see people complaining about that a lot with how much it costs us to buy something. So one thing for me for sure that I wish I could buy from certain shops that are overseas, but I just cannot see myself paying $30 or $36 in shipping. I'm already paying possibly $100 for a canvas. That already seems outrageous to me. I'm not paying $30 for shipping. Now with that is, I don't know what it takes to make these paintings. I don't know what the artists are supposed to be compensated. I think that part is kind of hard too sometimes and that's anything, right? That's anything you're doing, anything you're buying. How do we know really, without being on the other side of it, what's fair? Like, in a way, I feel like Etsy taking 60% of a sale is insane to me and greedy, but I don't know. People still sell there. So is it? I don't know. Feels bad. Feels like it's questionable. When I'm thinking about opening a shop and I'm like, do I want to do Shopify and take that risk when I have no following and I got to do that myself, or go to Etsy and pay the fees and pay that 60%, but they have a following already and they do all this stuff already and you don't have to worry as much about marketing in a way. It's like, is it worth it? And I don't know. But plenty of people seem to find it worth it. So, but it's a hard one. I can't imagine like working super hard on something and then only getting like $1 off of it, you know? So that's the thing though, when you're not on the other end of it, it's hard to really know what's worth it. So it's like, you pay the price anyway, right? Use a discount code if you got one. So with Diamond Art Club being the biggest one, I've used Oraloa. Yeah, and Munimade. I think those are the only 3 bigger ones, and then I bought small things from Paint Jam. Oh wait, no, I've done also Painted Maeve, who I have yet to actually work on that one, and Fallon Gems, which I did one, the Red Panda, and I was disappointed with that one. I don't know, the quality of the product itself seemed fine. It seemed pretty decent, especially like comparable to Diamond Art Club. I didn't really notice too much of a difference. The detail of the art was where I had a problem, but that's neither here nor there right now. That's not part of this. How much a painting costs is definitely something I'm like, I don't know. I just think if you like the artwork enough, you just pay it, you know? But I came to a point where I was like, do I really need this as a diamond painting though? Or do I like this enough that I actually don't care about the diamond painting part, but I want the artwork? And sometimes you just buy the artwork from the artist and don't worry about the diamond painting, because that's just more work for you rather than just get the artwork itself. And there are some things that I have found that I really love the artwork, but I hate how the render looks on the Diamond Art Club piece, especially when it comes to people. Like there was one, I forget what it's called, that had like bats in it, I think, and a moon, and there was like a girl, I think believe she had wings, and she was just like sitting looking out the window, and I thought, was she looking, no, was she, I don't remember actually, now I can't even remember, because I remember it was face details, I believe. I'm trying to think. There were a couple that I was just like, the face details lost me. I was like, her face looks mush. Just didn't look good, right? But there were other things I was like, you know, but I like the artwork, and that was when I kind of had that moment that I was like, I don't need everything as a diamond art piece. I can just get the artwork. And it was kind of like an epiphany moment for me where I realized, yeah, not everything has to be diamond art, and especially not knowing, is it really worth it for the price they're charging for some of these things? I mean, $80 to $100, 70 something dollars for these things. I mean, I don't know, it might be worth it, but then there's also, as I have another topic coming up here, AI artwork. Do we want to pay that much money for AI art? I mean, I'd likely be happier paying more money for work that's not AI, right? I go back and forth on that a lot. So yeah, it's hard to know when you're tight with money and you really can't afford to blow money, but you want to buy something. Is it worth it? That part's hard for me to juggle. So I'd say just something to consider, especially if you are in a situation that you have to be more careful. What else? Quality difference. Canvases can be rough and tough or not. The back of the canvas doesn't really matter as much to me, except for how it lays, I guess. People seem to really like the Diamond Art Club canvases. I don't. I like how they lay and things like that, but the touch of it is prickly to me, and I don't like that part. But they lay nice. I don't like a stiff canvas. That part's not fun. Some of them can be a little bit stiffer. So yeah, I think it's nice when it's soft and it's pliable, I guess is the word. Like it just is able, it's more flexible, lays flat, everything like that. If it's a stiffer canvas, that's just not fun. Licensing, when artwork is not licensed, there could be a possibility of it being stolen, especially on sites like Temu. And what's good about licensed artwork is that you know the artist is getting paid for the use of their work. That's a big thing, right? And there's Temu, you know, I recently had bought like a couple of things from Temu, but I'm like, back and forth with them. I'm like, I go on Amazon and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy like some beads. Like my daughter wanted to make bracelets and stuff, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get some beads and stuff cheaper than going to Michael's or Walmart or whatever. But I'm looking and I'm like, it's the same stuff I see on Temu and AliExpress and everything, and I'm like, it seems like it's all the same. But then there's local warehouses that are selling on there too, and legitimate companies selling, and I'm just kind of confused. So I'm like, maybe Temu is like, I don't know. I'm almost like on and off with them. I won't buy coloring books. I won't buy art because I know they steal that stuff, and part of me doesn't want to give them my money anyway, but I kind of feel like I know they're getting paid anyway because there's a lot of people on Amazon that are probably buying from them and then reselling on Amazon, and it's really hard to know. And then in the stores, so much stuff comes from China that I'm like, what if the companies are starting to buy from Temu themselves? I don't know. I don't know if they have to mention that or talk about it. Like, I don't know how that works. But then I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to do. You know, it's like, if it's going to save me a few dollars, is it worth it? I mean, I won't, like I said, I won't do artwork and coloring books and clothing and things that I know they're stealing from other people. But when it comes to like beads and crafty things, I almost don't know if it's in the same playing field. Like, I'm not sure. There is the moral code of like, just don't buy from someone that you know is stealing, but I don't know. It's just hard, you know? Sometimes it's hard to like deal with that. It's like when some people say they don't want to eat somewhere or shop somewhere because they support a certain political party, but it's like, imagine if you had to go through and find every single company that you didn't agree with that, and then you had to like X them all out. Would you do it? I feel like people wouldn't do that. It's just like, leave me in ignorance so I can just do what I need to do for my life. But I don't know. I don't know if anybody else is like ever on the fence. I just wish that bad things like that didn't happen so we could just feel good about what we're doing and not, I just feel like there's this massive like constant worry about doing the right thing, you know? And it's just, honestly, it can just make you sick. It can just make you sick and stressed out so much that it's like you want to make the right choices, but it's just, it seems like it should be easy, right? But then it's like when the stores are marking things up, like there was something, what did I buy? These Care Bear charms in Michael's, and they were like $12.99, but then I saw in Hobby Lobby they were selling them for $8.99 or something, and I was just like, what the heck? I don't know. So things like that, and it's just like, you know, the stores are raising their prices, and it's just like, you can't afford certain things, but then you can afford it if you get it from Temu or AliExpress, and it's, or whatever, and it's just like, ugh, it's a constant battle. And it's hard to say I'm gonna choose to pay 10 times as much when the store probably went and bought it from some cheap discount place too. I don't know. It's just a constant, like, I don't buy from them a lot. It was like one time, but like I can't say I did it without guilt. I definitely did it with some guilt. So I don't know if anybody else has to struggle with anything like that, but I definitely am like, ugh, I wish it just wasn't that way. I hate that so much. What else is on here? So the AI thing, yeah, I struggle with that too. Like, how much do we need to care about AI? What I hate really with AI, I use ChatGPT all the time. We have conversations all the time. We brainstorm all the time, but ultimately, like, I feel like I use it in a responsible way. If I need help with like we're trying to figure out if we want to homeschool our daughter, and so I talk to chat and I'm like, hey, can you help me with like a nice pros and cons list? Or if I need help explaining something to her, I'll say, hey, my kid's this age and we need help explaining something to her, you know? And if it makes sense when it comes out, then I'll read it to her, you know? If I'm like, okay, good, because sometimes I don't know how to explain things properly to her, and if ChatGPT does it better, then I'll read it to her. If not, then I'll try to figure out something else. But yeah, I don't use it and then like copy paste. That's not what we're doing over here. And I cross check everything. If I ever ask anything like medical or anything like that, I always Google whatever it says. I ask the doctors, things like that. You know, I'll say, oh, I looked this up and online it says blah, 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 and I'll see what the doctor says. In that regard, I really like AI. What I don't like, for instance, I found this Instagram account and they do like wedding dresses. I swear every model looked AI to me. The movement, there was like this one woman who was the same smile, the same flow, and she was trying on dresses. My aunt, my sister, my mom and mother-in-law picked out these dresses for me. Which one do you like best? And then there was a video prior to that that was like, oh, which one's gonna make my future husband cry? And then she was in like 5-6 videos, you know, before I didn't dig any deeper, and it was like each one had a different topic on it, and I was like, this has to be AI. And then there were others that it's just like, there's just giveaways, right? The movements are too smooth in the videos, you know, the dress is gliding too much, it's a little slow motiony, the smiles are too perfect, it's like almost like the girls are too pretty, the makeup is too perfect, the hair is too perfect, you know what I mean? And it's just like, so with the artwork with this, it's like if it there's certain things I can't explain, it gives me AI vibes, I call it. And if it looks too I almost wonder, is that how they're Diamond Art Club puts out so many things, is because so much of it is AI now? But I don't know, I'll check an artist's Instagram page and see if they mention that it's AI, or I'll check on DAC's website and see, because if it's AI, they will tell you underneath it. It'll say that they use AI. They say that they have them heavily change that. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that looks like. I would love a before and after to compare. I just don't know if I believe it. And then it's like, if you're gonna do the heavy editing anyway, it's almost like, why not just do it yourself? I mean, I have no idea. I do think there's some people who put a lot of work into AI because the prompts are no joke. I've tried it in the past and done terribly. So I do give some credit sometimes, but I feel like when it comes to diamond paintings, I don't want it to be AI. I want it to be actual artists that are, you know, there was one that I thought it was AI, but he oil paints, or I think it was a guy. He does oil paintings, and oil paintings apparently can look very AI-ish. So yeah, there's that discrepancy too. And then part of me is like, do I even want to care, or just enjoy the painting and be happy because it's cute or whatever? So I go back and forth a little bit on that as well. I try to avoid AI, but then there are times that if I can't tell, I think there was one, I think it was called Journey to into Dreams or something. I don't know. It was like a train picture that released, and I didn't know that this, I think it was Eau Claire Studios or something. I don't know, but they released something, and it was that train, and it was so pretty to me. Never even thought it was thought of AI. Just didn't even cross my mind. I was just so taken aback, and it just reminded me so much of the Polar Express for some reason. In the aftermath, honestly, when I look at it now, I don't know if I see that as much, but I just really loved it. And then I found out afterward AI, and so I was a little bummed about that. I think I might have two that are AI, but I'm just like, you know what, I really love them though, so whatever. But I do try to avoid AI, but sometimes it's just hard to tell, and I hate that part. I hate that there's like stories and stuff now that we have to question everything. Is this real? Is it not? Some AI is obvious, some isn't, and I'm just like, I just hate AI for that reason alone. Some people are just ruining it for everybody. So yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you think? Where do you stand with AI? Are you okay with it? Are you on the fence? Are you kind of like, it depends? Let me know. What else here? I wrote down temperature affecting the putty and waxes. I feel like I did hear a little bit about that, but not enough. And you don't know until you get it, really. Like, it's worth it to try and see what they're like. There's soft putties, hard putties, all different kinds of putties, soft waxes, hard waxes. I think it's worth getting them and trying them, but I can tell you, in a warmer climate, for me, waxes are a hard no-go. The glue dots that I get on Amazon are the best, and then putties are my other one. Those are the two things that work the best for me. What else? So it's harder than it looks, especially when keeping the drill straight. Facts. This I thought was going to be a super easy thing. I thought I was going to be able to get through a lot of them super quick, and it was going to be great, and I lied to myself. They are harder than it, especially keeping the drill straight is a lot harder than it seems. For me, for some reason, I don't know, let me know in the comments if this is you. If I single place, multi-place, no matter if it's Diamond Art Club, Munimade, doesn't matter what brand, I always end up with crooked lines. Like, it just does. I gave in. I was like, whatever. When you pull away, you can't really notice it. So I'm like, whatever. Like, screw it. I'm not going to stress myself out. I'm just going to do the best I can, relax, enjoy it, and the end. Because it doesn't matter. I've tried all the tips and tricks. I haven't bought a grid or anything because I'm just not invested that much. I don't care that much. But I've tried the checkerboard thing. Nothing makes them straight. It just does not matter. So yeah, harder than it looks. But that could be a me thing. What else is here? Lighting. Very important. Environment, light pads, etc. So in my room where I am, I have bad lighting. So if I put a light pad underneath, which is necessary, I can't necessarily see the top. Like, let me see how to say this. I don't really know. When I'm going to put the drills on, it's like I almost need overhead lighting and under lighting. If I do the overhead light only, then shadows take over and I can't see what I'm doing, where I'm placing anything, right? I can see the tray, pen to tray, good to go. But I can't see the symbols on the canvas or anything like that. So I need the light pad so I can see the symbols. And if I just do that, then it's hard in other ways. And then when you're recording for YouTube or something, then it's a whole different story, because then certain other things don't show up, or shadows or whatever. So it really depends what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Lighting is very important. And I wish I had a more well-lit situation. I wish I could be by the window, have the sun coming in, you know. I don't have that. And my light in my room is just awful, and I'm not changing it because it's a small room. If I put anything brighter, it's going to heat my room up even more, and it's going to be too bright. I know, I've already tried it. Whenever we move into our own place, God willing, hopefully I can make a better situation for myself, but who knows if I'll even be doing diamond painting at that point. What else do we have here? ASMR being harder than it seems. Even, I don't know how you guys do it, but shout out to the ASMR people that do any kind of ASMR, because I can't even do coloring ASMR. My microphones, I have the Hollyland Lark M2 whatever, I have a Fifine whatever microphone, and I have just the Apple phone and Apple phone, and none of the mics together or apart will pick up sound enough to make a legit video. So good for y'all. I don't know how you do it or what sorcery is going on, but it doesn't work for me. And I've tried the putty, whether it pops for me, it doesn't pick it up on the mic. So for me, harder to make those videos than I thought. The next topic I have here is events. So this is my experience with events. So buckle up, here we go. So what I found with these events, I did 3. I don't know if I'm gonna remember them all. I did the Drills and Chills 2025, which was a Halloween event. I did Claws and Paws, which was basically anything animals. And I did the Cat Fedora one, which was anything artwork by Cat Fedora. The Cat Fedora one was super, super chill. No new start, no finish, just participate, enjoy it. That was it. Claws and Paws, very similar, more relaxed. Drills and Chills was more intense. It was, you had to have a new start. If you wanted to go for the grand prize, you had to finish, and you needed photos of everything. There was a Google Doc to fill out with a bunch of information, which I didn't love having to put like my address and my personal information right away. I feel like you should only have to do that if you actually like win something. I don't know. I guess they think it's gonna like streamline the situation if they do have prizes, but I have no idea. I've never done an event before. I think it just is like, it seems like it shouldn't be that hard, you know, but I guess it is. I don't know. I don't know anything about it, but I felt like it was just a little, I don't know. I got bored, I guess. I don't know. I found it really hard to just stick to the one canvas. I barely got anything done on my Cat Fedora one. It was too much. I got my Claws and Paws one done because I chose a smaller canvas. The Cat Fedora one was much bigger, and I just didn't get to finish because I was working on both at the same time, I think, and it was too much with life and everything, and I just lost interest, and I had to just focus on other things like home life and my daughter and things. It was just too much, so I had to just stop. I didn't win any prizes at all, and the Drills and Chills one I almost didn't finish, but thankfully I was able to push through and I got it done. That one was also a bit of a smaller canvas, but it was still too much for me to really do. Definitely got burnt out. I kind of found that I just prefer to not be locked into anything, so I have not had the desire to do any more events at this point. I just don't like being locked into something. It made me feel trapped, even though I could have stopped at any point, but I felt like I committed to it. I had talked about it on my channel and I really just wanted to finish, but I don't know. I just couldn't be locked in. It was too hard to do. I didn't think it was going to be. I figured, you know, oh, it's going to be fun. A lot of people are a part of this and talking about it. They had a ridiculous amount of sponsors and, you know, prizes and giveaways and everything, and just crazy. But I just found that, you know, if you're doing it and you're talking to people, you're engaging, maybe then it's more fun. But I was kind of posting and nobody was really saying anything, and then I wasn't really posting, and I was just doing it by myself basically. So there wasn't that social aspect of it really for me. It was still just me doing it on my own. And so, you know, it was like, I don't know, it was just kind of whatever. It wasn't feeling like the community situation that I thought it was gonna feel like. Part of that is like, I don't know anybody, even like I'm a very reclusive person. I don't really go out, I don't really do anything. And I would say the people that I think of when I think, okay, if I had a friend that I was going to call up and be like, you know, long time no talk, nobody that I know does diamond painting. So even if I was in contact with people, nobody does this. So I don't even have anybody that I could be like, hey, let's come over and do some diamond painting. Like, nobody does it. So that was definitely a tricky one for me. I did get burnt out doing it. I did get kind of bored in a way because I was having some issues. I was having issues with the canvas. The drills weren't sticking. I was having some problems. I had one that two of the images looked exactly alike to me. They looked like an A and an upside down A, and I couldn't find one of them. So I thought it was just a misprint. Laid them down, and then I had to pull them all up and do it over. And I just had some complications, and it just really was frustrating. And I have here that I didn't go into the event with prizes being the main hurrah, but it wound up being the most exciting part because of everything else being so frustrating. That was just like, at least that part was fun to look forward to. Without winning anything, it just felt kind of more blah. And I eventually just didn't care anymore either, because I knew that the chances of winning something were so low because there were so many people and obviously not a lot of prizes to go around. But also this is another point that I have, was that there weren't too many prizes that I actually wanted to enter for, because I wanted to be fair, that I don't want to just enter just because it really wasn't about the prizes, or it wasn't supposed to be about the prizes. There were some things I knew I wouldn't use, like gift cards to certain shops, or let's say there was a shop that did diamond paintings, but they were overseas and I knew I wasn't going to pay the $30 in shipping that they required. So I would say, okay, I'm not going to enter for that prize pack, because I don't know if I was wrong, but my understanding is you comment on the video and then you're entered for any of those prize packages, and I didn't want to take a chance on winning something that I wasn't going to use. It just didn't seem fair, even though it was like maybe one of the packages I would have been like, oh, that would have been cool to have, but then the rest of them, it's like, I'm not interested in that, or I already had, like, one of them was a drills and chills tray, but I already had the tray and I didn't need to or want to, so I just felt like leave that for someone else that maybe doesn't have one. So there were several prize packages that I decided not to enter for. So that was also like, okay, so now I'm not even doing the prizes. So it really was, I'm feeling the burnout. This was about halfway through. It was a 2-month long thing. So I definitely took breaks in between, because I was definitely feeling the burnout, and you know, I was doing other things in between too, so it wasn't just that. It's something to think about. Can you focus on one project? I don't know how some people did 3 or 4, and I don't understand how. I'm like, what is your life? Some people, I guess, just can maybe do it really fast. If you have a story about that, I'd love to know. Like, if you can get through 3 or 4 diamond paintings in just 2 months, tell me your secrets, because I could never. My hand would be cramping. I don't have the focus for it. I mean, I don't have the time. I really don't. It takes me way too long. I admire that. I saw that and I was like 3, 4 done. I'm like, how? But like in a good way. Fully, I swear, in a good way. I'm like amazed and just so envious. I'm like, I wish I could be that productive. I can't. So the events for me just did not work at that time. And for now, I'm not looking to do any more events. For me, they're just not sensible and where my life is at. Like, especially now, I'm doing the coloring channel, which has been growing. I'm just going to do regular diamond painting here on this channel, see how that goes. I really have to just do something with these paintings. I have them all here. I want to talk about them. I want to get through them, talk about life and stuff like that. And then we'll see where we go from there. But I'm definitely not doing any more events. There's no events happening for me in 2026 that I can foresee. All right. The last thing I have here is, I talked about this a little bit earlier. Do you really want or need that image in a diamond painting, considering how much work goes into it, meaning how much we have to do for it, placing all the diamonds? What about getting the actual artwork itself? Mari, I don't know how to say names, by the way. Mari Gonasuli is an artist that I really love, and I really loved her work, and I really wanted this one. I think it was called Dragons and Books. I did eventually get it, but it was sold out for a while and I wasn't sure it was ever going to come back. It was a cute little dragon sleeping on top of books. I thought it was round drills. Turns out it's square, but I really loved it. It was a little bit of like a witchy vibe, but I thought, you know what? I looked on her page, and she has an Etsy shop, and she had so many adorable works, like so many pictures, so many stickers, so many things, so many other dragons. I mean, so cute. She is one of my favorite artists now, and I bought a bunch of stickers and just a bunch of things from her. I just thought if I never get this painting, I am gonna have this artwork somehow. Thankfully, they did restock it. I have it. I'm gonna work on it, but I also am intending to buy more stuff from her. She's in Germany though, so that stinks. But she's in Germany, so there is that. She has a lot of stuff available. It did not take very long to get her products though. At the time, they came very quickly. But yeah, so she was the first one that I was like, you know what? It doesn't have to be diamond art. Maybe I don't want to place that many diamonds to get the art piece. And maybe I don't want this giant thing, because I'm thinking about it like, well, shoot, now I've got these big canvases. I am not going to have wall space for these. I am never going to have a mansion or anything. So what am I doing buying up a ton of these canvases when I'm not even going to have anywhere to put them? I don't want them just sitting in boxes rotting away forever. And I see people with these hordes of diamond paintings and they've got like 200, 300 paintings, and I'm just kind of like, but why? Some of this is not my fault. Some of this is the fault of Hannah Alonso and Kiki Chantel, thank you, from YouTube, with their overconsumption videos and why it's bad. Because that definitely locked me down, where I was like, you know what? You're right, girls. You're right. It's crazy, the overconsumption of it all. It really reeled me in a lot, which, by the way, if you're into, Kiki's basically slamming influencers and trying to get people back to reality of like, we don't need these things and content that's really kind of making the world sick and stuff like that. I agree with a lot of what she says. For instance, a lot of talk about the Christmas hauls where people are like $20,000 in Christmas hauls. I don't watch those. I am not the person that will enjoy seeing that. That makes me feel bad about my life. And I can barely pay for food, and you're out here with your $20,000 Christmas hoard. I don't care. To me, it's just people showing off. I don't think anybody putting out those kinds of videos, I just feel like you're just showing off, trying to get attention, being whatever. Nothing good. I don't feel anything good about those. So yeah, that's what she does. Hannah's similar, a little bit of a different perspective. Hers is a lot more focused on MLM stuff and why MLM things are bad, but she does a little bit of this influencer, what does she call it? I forget what she calls it, but it's just basically, you know, what's wrong with influencers, the ones that are kind of out of control. But yeah, they're fun channels to watch. But yeah, so I had this situation, I think it was around November, getting ready for Black Friday, and I thought, I don't have money for Black Friday. I think the painting record store restocked and I missed it, and then it restocked again and I bought it, and I thought, that's the last one. Then I'm like, I need to have this. I wanted that so badly. And then there were others that I really loved that were coming out, and I wanted them. The duck bath, you know, I like the duck ones too. But after I got record store and I wasn't able to do Black Friday, I just thought, oh, and there were a lot of AI looking ones too that came out on Black Friday, and I just thought, I think this is it. I think this is the downfall, where I don't want to put as much energy into this channel anymore. I need a break, and I need a break from DAC. They just almost, for me, release too much, and there's something about it that rubs me the wrong way. I'm like, how are we doing this? How are you releasing so much? I don't get it. Is it all AI because, or a lot of it AI, and that's how we're doing this? Because that would make sense. But otherwise, I would love to see a behind the scenes, because it must be a freaking mad world back there. The way that I picture production having to be of these products, between the artists and the rendering and getting everything together with how many that they do, I just can't even imagine. What I'm imagining is chaos. And I just think what I picture is like, how can this even be enjoyable? Because it's so chaotic. It's like Mr. Beast land. There's too much going on. You can't even enjoy your life. So yeah, I'm not sure what to think. And it just happened to be like that. And then ever since then, the funny thing is that every release, I don't think I have seen even one thing since that I'm like, yeah, I really need to have that. I haven't paid as much attention. The few things that I have seen, I'm like, nope, I can pass on that. I don't need that. There's nothing that I've seen that I'm like, I have to have that. And I'm like, did I just like de-click myself from the situation or something? I don't even know. It's like I just hit the off button or something, and all of a sudden I fell out of this like dystopian world or something. I don't know. It's so weird. And then other shops, I just stopped looking because they don't do as many releases, but I know they have cute stuff. So there's some that I just haven't looked because I know if I look, I'm going to be in trouble and I'm going to want to buy stuff. And I can't. I've definitely broken free, I would say, from the trance, and I haven't bought anything diamond painting related since I bought Record Store, which was probably, I don't know when, maybe October-ish. I don't remember at all. I am proud of myself in a way for that because I have a shopping addiction that is hard to break sometimes. And so where I'm at now is I have this channel to try to get through the paintings that I have. Everything you're gonna see, I do not see myself, not that I never will, because never say never, but I do not foresee myself at this point doing any new purchases or hauls or anything like that. I wish I could. I don't have the money for it, but I also don't want to buy things that I don't need. And I feel like a lot of people do when they have a YouTube channel, especially, they will buy a bunch of stuff that they don't need just for the content. And I learned that diamond painting and coloring, they are not money makers. Most people have told me that I've talked to that they barely make enough money really just to fund the hobby. They don't make money to pay their rent. It doesn't pay the bills. It really only funds their hobby. That was a little bit of a wake-up call. Coloring people I haven't talked to, but I just sort of assume the same thing because when I'm looking at subscribers and views and things like that, I'm pretty much seeing the same pattern for both hobbies, right? So that's why I'm like, it'd be nice if my coloring channel grew to the point that it would just fund itself. Otherwise, I will have to stop that at some point too, just time-wise, because I'm gonna have to pivot my time into something that actually makes money. This one though, the diamond painting channel, it would be nice to monetize it eventually, but the goal is to just share my experience along the way and share my progress on the projects I currently have. There's a lot of minis, and then I have a decent amount of projects, but I don't have hundreds. I might have maybe around 20. I'm not sure. 20 to 30, I want to say. I've got some in my closet, some in my daughter's closet. I have all different sizes, and I have several mini kits. I have a few from Paint Gem, Oraloa. I have 2 minis and 1 bigger one. And then I have a bunch of mini dazzles, and I have a few other things. So I have a decent amount of projects, and I hope you will subscribe and join the journey, and we'll just share experiences. I just want this to be a very free-flowing thing. I don't want it to be stress or anything. Sometimes I'll be doing whip and chats. There are going to be voiceovers like this though, because I really can't focus on the project and talking at the same time. The project will not get done and my train of thought will fly off the handle. Some days it might just be music in the background. Some days maybe it'll just be slightly ASMR where it's just quiet. I might do it where I just for my own vibe. But anyway, let me know your experiences down below. And I hope that you will join me, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Make sure you hit all so you get all the notifications, and you will be notified when I have another video going up. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Thank you for checking in here and checking this video out, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.